The following is a feature presentation of the Replay Sports Channel, the home for great games. This episode of the Replay Sports Channel is brought to you by Royal Retros, your ultimate one-stop shop representing the teams of the past. Order your favorite team's replica gear today from Royal Retros and use the discount code REPLAY to get 10% off your purchase. The link is provided in the show description. Tonight, the wait is over. Tonight, a new season begins. A new chase for the Pantheon Trophy. A new opportunity for 20 teams across the Action Football Alliance. And tonight, the defending champions begin their journey to do it all over again. From the Mile High City, the champions are home. The Denver Gold, reigning champions of the Action Football Alliance, open their defense of their title tonight before a sold-out crowd at Apex Stadium. The Gold have spent the offseason hearing the same question. Can they do it again? Tonight, they begin to answer it. But standing in their way is a team with a championship dream of its own. The DC Defenders made perhaps the biggest move of the offseason, signing one of football's most accomplished quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes. A new quarterback, a new era, and a new belief in the nation's capital that the Defenders can make the next deep season run. Mahomes brings championship experience to Washington. The Gold bring the confidence of a champion. One team is trying to prove that last season was just the beginning. The other believes the addition of a superstar quarterback can change everything. And tonight, they meet under the lights. 48 seasons of Action Football Alliance history have brought us to this moment. 48 seasons of rivalries, great players, great teams, and unforgettable championship moments. Tonight, Season 48 begins. Hi again, everybody. Glenn Walker joining you from the Replay Sports Channel studios. The defending champions are ready. The new-look Defenders are ready. Apex Stadium is sold out. Denver is rocking. And the road to Tampa and Pantheon Bowl XXV begins here. It's Thursday Night Football, live from Denver, Colorado, as a new season gets underway. The defending champion Denver Gold will be taking on the DC Defenders, and the Patrick Mahomes era begins in DC. The AFA is back, the champions are back, and the 2026 season starts now. For the next several months, the Action Football Alliance will once again take us on a journey towards the Pantheon Bowl, but it all begins tonight. The defending champions against a team that believes it has found the missing piece. Denver and DC, Mahomes and the Gold. Let's play some football, shall we? We'll take you down to our announcer. Enjoy the game, everyone.
Welcome to Empower Field. DC vs Denver. McLaughlin to kick off. The kick from McLaughlin is returned 36 yards by Robinson. Kinchins on the tackle. Mahomes gives to Krosky Merritt. Wide open field. Krosky Merritt on the sweep, 17-yard gain, Johnson on the tackle, first down. Mahomes in a pistol formation. Drops back to pass. Mahomes fires downfield to Brown. Mahomes throws incomplete to Brown. Hamilton with the coverage. Mahomes from the pistol. Mahomes calls the signals. Draw to Krosky Merritt. Krosky Merritt gains 3 on the draw, Oluwakin on the tackle. Third and 7 from the 39. Mahomes from the pistol. Takes a short drop. Short in. Mahomes is intercepted by McKinstry. Return of 17.
Upon further review, the ball touched the ground before being secured. Incomplete.
Wellen from punt formation. A 39-yard punt by Wellen, touchback. The handoff to Henry. Henry has daylight. Henry on the carry, gain of 14, Smith on the stop, first down. Smith from the pistol. He fades back to pass. Long fly. Smith is intercepted by Lenore, return of 48. Mahomes hands to Krosky-Merritt. Krosky-Merritt the ball carrier, 3, flag on the field.
Offsetting penalties. Repeat first down.
First and 10. Mahomes calling the signals. He sets to throw. Short outside pass to Brown. Mahomes completes the pass to Brown, gain of 7, McKinstry on the tackle. Second and 3 at the 7. Mahomes from the pistol. Mahomes fades back to pass. Short out to Bout. Mahomes to Bout, incomplete. Third and 3. Trips left. Mahomes in a pistol formation. Drops back to pass. Mahomes throws short to O'Duns. Mahomes throws incomplete to O'Duns, Jones on the coverage. "25-yard attempt for Elliott. Wellen to hold. This will give them the lead. Tough one to miss. BB with the snap. Elliott is good from 25, DC 3, Denver 0. Here's the kick from Elliott. First and 10 from the 25. Henry takes the handoff. Henry gains 2 on the sweep, Mathieu Bike on the tackle. Smith pitches right to Henry. Henry on the pitch, gain of 12, Landry with the tackle, first down. I formation. Smith drops back to pass. Screen to Henry. Smith completes the pass to Henry, 4-yard gain, Lloyd on the tackle. 2nd and 6 from the 43. Pistol formation. Smith with a short drop. Short hitch to Bowers. Smith passes to Bowers, gain of 8, Sanker on the tackle, first down. First and 10 at the 49. Smith with a 7-step drop. Long hitch to Evans. Smith to Evans, incomplete, McCollum with the coverage. Second and 10. Smith from the pistol. Smith fades back to pass. Medium into Tillman. Smith is intercepted by McCollum, return of 63. First and goal. Man in motion. Goal line defense. Mahomes calls out the signals. The give to Krosky-Merritt. Krosky-Merritt with the carry, touchdown DC. Elliott will try the point after. The kick by Elliott is good. DC 10, Denver 0. Here's the kick from Elliott. The kick from Elliott is returned 16 yards by Corley, Hicks on the tackle. Smith calling signals. Smith gives to Pollard. Pollard the ball carrier, gain of 5, Osai on the stop. Second and 5 from the 23. Hand off to Henry. Has an opening. Henry the ball carrier, gain of 16, McCollum on the tackle, first down. Smith from the pistol. Smith fades back to pass. Medium cross. Smith is intercepted by Lenore, return of 3. Mahomes gives to Krosky-Merritt. Krosky-Merritt the ball carrier, gain of 4, Oluwakin on the tackle. 2nd and 6 from the 46. Mahomes gives to Robinson. Robinson the ball carrier, loss of 1, Jones on the tackle. Third and 7 from the 47. Mahomes from the pistol. Mahomes barks out the signals. Mahomes with a quick drop. Short hitch. Mahomes throws incomplete to O'Duns, Jones with the coverage. Wellen back in punt formation. Still waiting inside his own 10. A 40-yard punt by Wellen, out of bounds. Smith from the pistol. Smith with a short drop. Short out pass to Tillman. Smith to Tillman, gain of 11, Hicks with the tackle, first down. Smith from the pistol. Smith fades back to pass. False. Smith on the carry, gain of 7, Smith on the tackle. Second and 3 from the 25. Smith from the pistol. He fades back to pass. Screen to Henry. Smith completes the pass to Henry, gain of 4, Cooper on the stop, first down. Pollard with the handoff. Pollard with a gain of 7 on the play, Mathieu on the tackle. Second and 3 at the 36. Smith from the pistol. Smith fades back to pass. Short hitch to Evans. Smith passes to Evans, incomplete, McCollum with the coverage. Third and 3 at the 36. Pistol formation. Smith at the line. He sets to throw. Short out to Evans. Smith to Evans, gain of 7, McCollum on the tackle, first down. Pollard takes the handoff. Pollard lost one on the play, Hutchinson on the stop. Second and 11 from the 42. Smith hands to Henry. Henry on the carry, 4-yard gain, penalty on the play.
Holding, offense, number 78, 10-yard penalty.
Second and 21 from the 32. Smith in a pistol formation. DC faking blitz. Smith at the line. Drops back to pass. Short slant. Smith to Bowers, gain of 7, Sanker on the stop. Third and 14. Pistol formation. Smith calling signals. Smith with a short drop. Pass in the flat to Evans. Smith to Evans, gain of 1, McCollum on the tackle. A 45-yard punt by Morstead, return of 11 by Austin. Mahomes from the pistol. Takes a 3-step drop. Short slant. Mahomes passes to Fannin, incomplete. Oluokun with the coverage, end of the first quarter, DC 10, Denver 0. Pistol formation. Mahomes at the line. Krosky Merritt with the handoff. Krosky Merritt on the carry, loss of 1, flag on the play.
Tripping, offense, number 63.
Second and 23 from the 13. Mahomes from the pistol. Mahomes fades back to pass. Long fly to O'Duns. Mahomes passes to O'Duns, incomplete, Jones with the coverage. Third and 23 from the 13. Mahomes from the pistol. He sets to throw. Throws to Austin Ii's back shoulder. Mahomes completes the pass to Austin, gain of 4, Hamilton on the stop. Wellen from punt formation. "55-yard punt by Wellen, 1 yard return by Still. First and 10 from the 29. Smith fades deep. Screen to Henry. Smith throws incomplete to Henry, punt on the coverage. Second and 10 from the 29. Smith from the pistol. Smith drops back to pass. Short button hook to Pittman. Smith to Pittman, incomplete. Third and 10 at the 29. Smith from the pistol. Tillman faces a double at the line. Smith with a short drop. Short curl. Smith throws incomplete to Evans, McCollum on the coverage. Morstead to punt. "50-yard punt by Morstead, return of 8 by Austin. Mahomes sets up in the pocket. Medium cross to Bout. Mahomes to Bout, 14-yard gain, McKinstry on the tackle, first down. Pittry in the box. Mahomes fades back to pass. Short crossing pass. Mahomes completes the pass to O'Duns, gain of 7, Jones on the tackle. Mahomes barks out the signals. Krosky Merritt controlling the ball now. 7-yard gain by Krosky Merritt, Turner on the tackle, first down. Mahomes drops back to pass. Mahomes throws to Fannin. Mahomes passes to Fannin, gain of 4, Oluwakin on the tackle. Second and 6 from the 39. Shotgun formation. Give to Krosky Merritt. Krosky Merritt the ball carrier, no gain, Oluwakin on the tackle. Third and 6 at the 39. Mahomes sets up in the pocket. Short button hook to Fannin. Mahomes passes to Fannin, gain of 10, Oluwakin on the tackle, first down. Kroski Merritt with the handoff. Kroski Merritt with a gain of 3 on the play, Pratt on the stop. DC breaks the huddle. Denver showing blitz. Mahomes on the draw. Mahomes with the carry, no gain, Brown with the tackle. Third and 7 from the 26. Mahomes calls the signals. Kroski Merritt with the handoff. Kroski Merritt on the carry, no gain, Turner on the stop. "44-yard attempt for Elliott. Good snap. The snap from Beebe. Elliott is good from 44 yards, DC 13, Denver 0. Here's the kick from Elliott. The kick from Elliott is returned 34 yards by Corley. Hits on the tackle.
10-yard penalty.
Smith hands to Henry. Two-yard run by Henry. Penalty on the play.
Holding, offense, number 78, 10-yard penalty.
Penalty flag.
False start, offense, number 89, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
First and 25. Smith fades back to pass. Smith throws underneath to Henry. Smith completes the pass to Henry. Flag on the play.
Offsides, defense, number 97, 5-yard penalty.
First and 20 from the 19. Smith calling signals. Smith with the give to Henry. Henry the ball carrier, gain of 5, flag on the field.
Grabbing the face mask, defense, number 23, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Henry takes the handoff. Henry with the carry, gain of 12, McCollum with the tackle, first down. Henry brings them to the line. 1st and 10. Henry behind center. Shotgun. He checks down to Bowers. Henry completes the pass to Bowers, 12-yard gain, Lloyd with the tackle, 1st down. Smith hands to Henry. Room down the sidelines. Henry with a 12-yard run, Landry on the stop, 1st down. Smith drops back to pass. He dumps it to Henry. Smith with the pass to Henry, incomplete. Denver down by 13. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Evans is doubled at the line. It's Corley on the end around. Corley gets to the 2nd level. Corley with an 18-yard run, Smith with the tackle, 1st down. Smith at the line. The hand off to Henry. Henry on the carry, gain of 3, Smith with the tackle. Second and goal from the 4. DC jumped. Smith drops back to pass. False. Smith on the carry, touchdown Denver. McLaughlin will try the point after. The kick by McLaughlin is good, DC 13, Denver 7. Here's the kick from McLaughlin. Fannin with the handoff. Fumble. Fannin on the carry, touchdown Denver, fumble recovered by Turner, returned for a Denver touchdown. McLaughlin will try the point after. The kick by McLaughlin is good, Denver 14, DC 13. The kick from McLaughlin is downed by Robinson. Mahomes back to pass. He throws underneath to Pitts. Mahomes completes the pass to Pitts, gain of 6, Hamilton on the tackle. Shotgun formation. Mahomes drops back to pass. Short hitch to Fannin. Mahomes completes the pass to Fannin, gain of 5, Oluwakin on the stop, first down. Two-minute warning. Mahomes back to pass. Medium outside pass to Bow. Mahomes is intercepted by McKinstry, return of 28. Shotgun formation. Smith drops back to pass. Smith is off and running. Smith with a 3-yard run, Lloyd on the tackle. Smith drops back to pass. Smith throws to Pittman. Smith throws incomplete to Pittman, flag on the field.
Personal foul. Offense, number 78, 15-yard penalty.
Smith sets up in the pocket. Short outside pass to Bowers. Smith passes to Bowers, incomplete, Sanker on the coverage. Third and 22. Trips left. Smith drops back to pass. Long slant. Fumble. Smith completes the pass to Evans, gain of 23, fumble recovered by Sorrell, DC ball. DC trailing by 1. From the Mahomes hands to Krosky-Merritt. Krosky-Merritt on the carry, no gain, Hamilton on the tackle. Shotgun formation. Mahomes fades back to pass. Medium out to Bout. Mahomes passes to Bout, incomplete, Johnson on the coverage. Third and 10 at the 5. Krosky-Merritt split wide. Mahomes at the line. Mahomes tucks it under. Mahomes gets to the second level. 25-yard run by Mahomes, Jones on the tackle, first down. End of the first half, Denver 14, DC 13. Elliott with the kick. The kick from Elliott is returned 34 yards by Corley, punt on the stop. Smith calling signals. Smith hands to Henry. Henry on the carry, loss of 1, Lenore on the stop. Shotgun. Smith drops back to pass. Short into Tillman. Smith completes the pass to Tillman, gain of 6, Hicks on the tackle. Third and 5. Smith drops back to pass. Short slant to Bowers. Smith completes the pass to Bowers, gain of 6, Sanker on the tackle, first down. First and 10. Smith sets up in the pocket. Short button hook to Bowers. Smith throws incomplete to Bowers, Sanker on the coverage. Smith drops back to pass. He passes to Henry. Smith to Henry, gain of 1, Hunt with the tackle. Third and 9. Smith drops back to pass. Short out. Smith completes the pass to Pittman, gain of 6, Lenore on the tackle. Morstead from punt formation. Austin waiting inside his own 10. A 46-yard punt by Morstead, touchback. First and 10. Denver showing blitz. Mahomes is back to pass. False. Mahomes with a gain of 2 on the play, Wonnum on the tackle. Second and 8. Mahomes at the line. Mahomes hands to Krosky-Merritt. Krosky-Merritt on the carry, gain of 2, Wonnum on the tackle. Third and 6 from the 24. Mahomes from the shotgun. Mahomes fades back to pass. Short cross. Mahomes throws incomplete to Fannin, Oluwakin on the coverage. Wellen back in punt formation. A 50-yard punt by Wellen, out of bounds. First and 10 from the 26. Smith at the line. Henry with the handoff. Henry on the carry, gain of 5, Smith on the tackle. Smith drops back to pass. He throws downfield to Allen. Smith passes to Allen, incomplete, McCollum with the coverage. Third and 5 from the 31. Shotgun formation. Smith sets to throw. Short hitch to Pittman. Smith to Pittman, gain of 5, Lenore on the tackle. Morstead to punt. "50-yard punt by Morstead, 11-yard return by Austin. And off to Krosky Merritt. Krosky Merritt with the carry, no gain, Martin with the tackle. Mahomes in the shotgun. Mahomes drops back to pass. Medium hitch. Mahomes to Fannin, incomplete, Oluwakin on the coverage. Third and 10 from the 25. Mahomes fades back to pass. Long hitch. Mahomes passes to Bout, gain of 24, McKinstry with the tackle, first down. Mahomes calling the signals. Sets to throw. Medium sideline pass to Fannin. Mahomes throws incomplete to Fannin, penalty on the play. Mahomes fades back to pass. Short into Brown. Mahomes throws incomplete to Brown, Hamilton on the coverage. Third and 10 from the 49. Krosky Merritt split out wide. Denver showing blitz. Mahomes fades back to pass. Short slant. Mahomes passes to Fannin, incomplete, Oluwakin on the coverage. Well and deep in punt formation. Still standing inside his own 10. "51-yard punt by Wellen, touchback." Smith sets up in the pocket. Smith throws to Henry. Smith with the pass to Henry, incomplete, Cooper with the coverage. Denver leads by 1. Second and 10 from the 20. 6:35 in the third. Shotgun. Smith fades back to pass. Smith is sacked by Landry, loss of 7. Third and 17. Smith fades back to pass. Long cross. Smith to Evans, 27-yard gain, Smith on the tackle, first down. Denver by 1. Smith fades back to pass. Smith passes to Evans. Smith completes the pass to Evans, gain of 7, McCollum with the tackle. Smith brings them to the line. Second and 3. Smith gives to Henry. Henry the ball carrier, gain of 1, Osai on the tackle. Third and 2 from the 48. DC faking blitz. Smith sets up in the pocket. Short slant. Smith throws incomplete to Bowers, Sanker on the coverage. They'll let it roll. A 49-yard punt by Morstead, no return. DC down 1. Mahomes drops back to pass. Medium slant to O'Duns. Mahomes to O'Duns, 14-yard gain, Johnson on the tackle, first down. Mahomes to throw. Mahomes to Brown against Hamilton. Mahomes passes to Brown, gain of 8, Hamilton on the tackle. Krosky Merritt with the handoff. Krosky Merritt on the carry, 4-yard gain, Brown on the tackle, first down. The handoff to Krosky Merritt. 2-yard gain by Krosky Merritt, Hamilton with the tackle. Running right. Krosky Merritt with daylight. 30-yard gain by Krosky Mara, McKinstry on the tackle, first down. End of the third quarter, Denver 14, DC 13. DC down 1. Hand off to Krosky Mara. 4-yard gain by Krosky Mara, Oluwakin on the tackle. Second and 6 at the 35. Shotgun. Krosky Mara with the handoff. Krosky Mara with the carry, gain of 4, McKinstry on the stop. Third and 2. Denver showing blitz. Mahomes glides back to pass. Medium slant to O'Duns. Mahomes completes the pass to O'Duns, gain of 19, Woolen with the tackle, first down. DC trailing by 1. Mahomes fades back to pass. Short hitch to O'Duns. Mahomes throws incomplete to O'Duns, penalty on the play.
Holding, offense, number 76, 10-yard penalty.
Mahomes barks out the signals. Robinson with the handoff. Robinson gains 4 on the draw, Pitre on the tackle. Second and 16 at the 18. Mahomes at the line. He fades back to pass. Mahomes throws to Robinson. Mahomes to Robinson, 5-yard gain, Turner with the tackle. Third and 11 from the 13. Current drive, 10 plays, 84 yards. 7:26 off the clock. Mahomes sets up in the pocket. He throws to Robinson. Mahomes completes the pass to Robinson, gain of 4, Turner on the tackle. "27-yard kick for Elliott. This will give them the lead. Clean snap from center. The snap from Beebe. Elliott is good from 27, DC 16, Denver 14. The kick from Elliott. The kick from Elliott is returned 32 yards by Dallas. Hits on the tackle.
Receiving team, 10-yard penalty.
Gold trailing by 2. Henry with the handoff. Henry with the carry, loss of 1, Hutchinson with the tackle. Second and 11 from the 17. Smith from the shotgun. Smith sets up in the pocket. Smith throws underneath to Henry. Smith to Henry, gain of 5, Lloyd on the tackle. Third and 6 from the 22. Smith fades back to pass. Short slant to Pittman. Smith is intercepted by Hunt, returned for a touchdown, touchdown DC. Elliott will try the point after. The kick by Elliott is good, DC 23, Denver 14. The kick from Elliott. The kick from Elliott is returned 44 yards by Corley, Elliott on the tackle. Goal down 9. First and 10 from the 44. Shotgun formation. Smith at the line. Transfers control to Pollard. Pollard on the carry, gain of 5, Sanker on the tackle. Second and 5 from the 49. Smith sets up in the pocket. Smith throws to Pittman. Smith passes to Pittman, incomplete, Lenore on the coverage. Third and 5 at the 49. Smith with a hard count. Smith fades back to pass. He throws to Tillman. Smith passes to Tillman, 11-yard gain, Taylor Britt on the tackle, first down. Smith sets up in the pocket. Screen to Pollard. Smith passes to Pollard, gain of 7, flag on the field.
Roughing the passer, defense. Number 58, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Smith hands to Pollard. Pollard with a gain of 4 on the play, Van Ness on the tackle. Smith sets up in the pocket. Short slant to Tillman. Smith completes the pass to Tillman, 3-yard gain, hits on the stop. Third and 3 from the 11. Hard count from Smith. DC showing blitz. Smith fades back to pass. Pass in the flat to Pollard. Smith to Pollard, incomplete, Landry with the coverage. Morstead is running with it. Morstead on the carry, loss of 4, Hargrave on the tackle. Mahomes gives to Krosky Merritt. Has an opening. Krosky Merritt with a gain of 17 on the play, Pratt with the tackle, first down. Mahomes gives to Krosky Merritt. Krosky Merritt the ball carrier, gain of 1, Pratt on the tackle. Krosky Merritt takes the handoff. Krosky Merritt has daylight. Krosky Merritt on the carry, gain of 21, Wundham on the stop, first down. Mahomes hands to Krosky Merritt. Krosky Merritt on the carry, gain of 8, Oluwakin on the tackle. Hand off to Robinson. Robinson on the carry, 6-yard gain, Oluwakin on the tackle, first down. I formation. Robinson takes the handoff. Fumble. Robinson on the carry, gain of 4, fumble recovered by Fox, Denver ball. Goal down by 9. First and 10 from the 29. 2:13 in the fourth. From the shotgun. Smith fades back to pass. Screen to Pollard. Smith passes to Pollard, gain of 14, Lenore on the tackle, first down. Two-minute warning. Gold trailing by 9. Someone jumped. Possible free play for Smith. Smith back to pass. He dumps it to Pollard. Smith to Pollard, incomplete, flag on the field.
Encroachment, defense. Number 2, 5-yard penalty.
Smith sets up in the pocket. Long out to Evans. Smith passes to Evans, incomplete, McCollum on the coverage. Second and 5 from the 48. Smith calls out the signals. Fades back to pass. Smith dumps it to Tillman. Smith completes the pass to Tillman, penalty on the play.
Grabbing the face mask, defense. Number 21, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Denver down by 9. Smith sets up in the pocket. Medium sideline pass to Pittman. Smith completes the pass to Pittman, gain of 6, Lenore on the tackle. Gold trailing by 9. Smith takes a deep drop. Screen to Pollard. Smith completes the pass to Pollard, gain of 10, Landry on the tackle, first down. First and 10 from the 21. Smith sets up in the pocket. Smith throws to Pollard. Smith to Pollard, 1-yard gain, penalty on the play.
Pass interference, offense. Number 20, 10-yard penalty.
First and 20 from the 31. Smith fades back to pass. Long out pass to Evans. Smith completes the pass to Evans, penalty flag.
Offsides, defense. Number 90, 5-yard penalty.
Smith sets up in the pocket. Smith is sacked by offside, loss of 8. Timeout, Denver. Second and 23 from the 34. 0:32 in the fourth. DC showing blitz. Smith fades back to pass. Smith is sacked by Hutchinson, loss of 9. Timeout, Denver. Denver breaks the huddle. Third and 32 at the 43. Smith sets up in the pocket. Smith throws deep downfield. Smith throws incomplete to Evans, Lenore on the coverage. 4th and 32 from the 43. They send a man in motion. Smith fades back to pass. Long fly. Smith to Pittman, 22-yard gain, Sanker on the tackle. Mahomes will go to a knee. Mahomes will take a knee. DC 23, Denver 14.